Welcome back to the channel, back out on site. Weather's a little bit against me, but we hopefully will be all right. So I popped this garden room up last year, towards the end of last year, and what was here in its place was a stable. So what we're just about to do is rebuild those stables. They were taken down by my client, my customer, and they were set aside in the field where we're going to rebuild the stables. Now, we've had a lot of water. We got a lot of clay here. Hello, Tony. And basically what we're going to be doing is forming the stables back in the field. A lot of water. Got the old welly boots on now. You can see a little bit of water here. So to make sure it all works, we're going to put a series of screws in. We're going to put a suspended ventilated floor, then we'll rebuild the stables on top of them. We think it's the only way of doing it. If we want to put in a concrete base, it's kind of like there forever, and you need quite a substantial base for it not to crack, or do it in sections, and on clay it's got the potential of moving around. So just like the garden builds we do, let's put some screws in, build a ventilated floor, put the plastic ply around the edge, put the stables up. It's going to be perfect. Anyway, we better get on, start sorting out what we've got here, all the components, shifting them around, working out what's what, and then we'll get it built. So the first job, set the thing out. We need to be about 1 meter from this fence line. You can see how the ground is running right uphill here. Look, got some high spots, low spots. So what we need to do effectively is work out the back line of screws. We're just keeping enough space to maintain the ground around the back. So it's just like for a mower. Find the highest spot, and I reckon we want to keep our screw around about 50 or 60 mil above that high spot, because the water will want to soak under here and keep going off. There is some plans to put a bit of land drainage in here at some point, but for now, for the sake, this is effectively a glorified store and shed. As long as we keep it off at about 60 mil there, otherwise we're going to be a foot out of the ground over there or something. And away we go. Whack our screws in, move all this gear first, because the first line, this one's about here, I think. And so me and Gil are going to crack on now.
I'll get the laser level.
Yeah, get the laser level out and do the business.
Cool.
So the first part of any job is successful setting out. So we needed to keep about 1 meter away from the fence line. That's not the boundary of this building. The boundary's a bit further away by the road. So we kept 1 meter away. We first started by stringing a line parallel to that fence there. And then we put a pin in at each end, and then we start measuring the diagonals, and we get that measurement based on how long the back is, how long the sides are. We do a simple calculation, and that gives us an exact measurement. And then we simply use 2 really long sight tapes, and I generally say these need to be pretty good quality, because if you get something which is poor quality, it may have a bit of stretch in it, and that's the last thing you want to be doing, is stretching these tapes out. You want to get them as accurate as possible. And the beauty of using 2 of these tapes and metal pins on the corner, providing you've got your pins exactly where they are, you can hook these tapes on the pins. You can pull them, you know, one from each corner and the diagonal, and you can crisscross them and get your measurements to be exactly where they are. It's super quick, super easy, and it's really, really accurate as well. And then so what we do then is, once we've got those marks and we've pinned them out, then that's the perfect time for us to start setting out exactly where we want the screws. Now, the way we work our screws out is based all about weight. This particular building is a stable. It was a stable. It's no longer a stable, it's a store. So that's why we're having a nice suspended timber floor. Keep it off the ground. It'll be absolutely perfect, and a good second life for a building. And I think that's absolutely fantastic, to be fair. So the guys have pretty much done the setting out now. We got the pins, we're getting those all stuck in everywhere, and the water is diabolical. Incidentally, there was a pond which caught all this water, on the other side of the road, and it generally fills up and goes down a underground drain, and it had been filled and it had never been cleared, and we managed to clear it recently, and within a couple of days of clearing it and the water flowing away perfectly down where it should go, the field literally dried out overnight, which was lovely as well. So we're no longer swimming around in all this mud. Anyway, a little bit more setting out here, and a little bit of funny dialogue coming up now, and we should be ready to put the screws in. So perfect.
Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
We're just having a little bit of fun with measuring at the moment. All about hippopotamus we keep talking about.
Which is what you need to be in this mud, is a hippopotamus. I think we're talking about the hypotenuse, but we got a stretchy tape, I think. How about that? So we only need to be roughly right. There's no such thing in my world as roughly right. I'm sure Elon Musk has got a satellite or something which can start setting these buildings out for us, and even screwing the screws in from outer space. We just have to get in touch with him. I'll send him an email later and see if he can assist. I think they're there now. Good stuff.
So the next thing was get those screws in. You've seen this on the channel before. If you haven't, check out the videos I've done before. And it's a pretty straightforward job when the ground's in your favour.
Well, we have one last screw to put in, which is going in to my right at the moment. And it's been a nice one actually. The ground here has been really nice and consistent. We've hit nothing, there's no tree roots and all the rest of it. So it's been a nice job actually. Makes a change. The last few we've done have been particularly hard. But it's a little bit of a bog now. As I'm walking around, you might be able to see just how bad it is. But that's all right. So now the screws are in. I've ordered my timber to go across the top. I'll be using a 7x2, which will eat this span. I'm going to put a double ring beam all the way around the outside, hang the joists between them, and then the front and back walls of the stable will be put on there. The side walls will go on doubles on the end, and then we'll use an OSB flooring over the top of everything, and that'll be perfect. So a really nice store for a very muddy field. I'll catch you all again soon for the next episode when we put this thing up.